Oh god, right out of the gate with it.
I think the applaud track or applause track should be our intro. Because it makes me feel more famous. Yeah. Y'all ready for some unqualified opinions?
Yeah, that's the name of the podcast, but, you know, people probably knew that when they tapped on it. So I feel like it's kind of silly to tell people the name of the podcast, because I think they know what they just hit play on.
What if they can't read?
Yeah, I guess.
We need to read it out loud.
And then maybe that's a little ableist, too. Well, I suppose...
Sorry.
I suppose folks with vision impairment would still have it read to them. It would be... But you would imagine they would look at what it is, or hear what it is, rather, before they start playing it.
That's true. Differentiation.
But, for the sake of convention, this is Unqualified Opinions with Hambones and Megatron.
Yikes. Off to a rockin' start.
Yeah. And, you know, to be perfectly honest, we don't even have show notes or bullet points or anything. I'm not even signed into a browser.
This is just breaking Chris's brain right now. He needs the structure.
It is. It was really hard for me to do this, but
yes,
we thought it would be fun to capture the birth of this podcast on audio.
The placenta
birth wasn't graphic enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
That's a sound effect. Anyways, I do need a applaud track. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, I'd love to thank.
You're so welcome. Let's see. I still need to get logged in to this browser.
We're having technical intermission.
Right. We're gonna edit some of this out probably.
Yeah, for sure.
There won't be a lot of editing.
The ableist comment for sure.
And if you're
no, my comment, not your response. Wow. Actually, all of it.
Wow. Okay. You're getting louder as you get into this. I'm turning your mic level down a little bit. You're getting hype, but that's okay. I'm not complaining.
I feel like me with this microphone is like when I got my first DDR mat. I was so excited about it that my eyes were glued to the screen trying to figure out how to get the moves right. And little did I know, I just traveled off the mat, and I'm like, I'm fucking killing it right now, and I don't understand why it keeps saying poor. It's like, poor. Learn to dance.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, oh, I'm off the mat.
That
too stoked.
That would do it.
You've done DDR, right?
Yes, I have. It's the closest you'll ever see me to dancing.
Oh, yeah. Get the crisscross action. Oh, my God. All right.
Yeah, we don't have to fill the air. We can edit. I need to get signed in.
I'll let you do it.
Oh, goodness.
I'll do some yoga in the corner to calm down.
That would... I mean, you do you, I guess. Oh, my God. This is going to be... Oh, shoot. I don't even have my personal email signed in for the password. Oh, I think I remember the password. It was pretty basic. So the email address for the show, if anyone wants to email us any questions, comments, insults, I'm sure they're all justified.
Suggestions.
Yeah, suggestions. You know, hopefully you're nice about it.
Otherwise, we'll just trash your... Please don't flag it as important.
Right.
Nothing's important when you flag it as important.
So I'm signing into the email account for the podcast right now, so perfect time to share the email address. It is unqualified opinions PC. That's short for podcast, by the way. We're not politically correct. Well, let's hope we are, but we don't make that.
We try to be.
Yeah.
We're all a work in progress.
It's not our primary mission, but we hope that the opinions we hold are already politically correct so that we don't have to filter them, because
exactly.
that would just be not genuine.
Right.
Let's see. So yeah, unqualifiedopinionspc@gmail.com if you wanted to reach out to us. Oh, and also, thank you for joining us. And we did want to give a disclaimer at the beginning that, this is mostly for Megatron and I. And if you choose to listen, that's on you. We won't be held responsible for any of the effects that our words have. If you can't accept that social contract, please stop listening now. I'm not prepared to take on that level of responsibility.
This is like the same validity as WebMD, I think.
I think less. I think more like Wikipedia, but without the people that review it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. There's no filter.
No oversight. There's no fact checking here.
Unless you want to fact check us.
Yeah, you're responsible for your own fact checking.
Yeah. You should always fact check.
Yeah.
Critical thinking.
Yeah.
We need more of that.
So the password for this was I guess we shouldn't be discussing that. Let's hit.
How about I just
we're gonna pause the recording. I think that's a thing that this audio interface can do. I'm about to find out. Okay, we are back. Even though no time has passed, we paused the recording to discuss the password to the email for the podcast. Sorry, we're not going to share that with all of you.
It may or may not be 12345.
Right, all of you 2 listeners. Sorry, we're not giving you our password.
Yeah. What's your social security number? I think it's that.
Yeah, I use my social security number for way too many things.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't say that out loud. Let's edit that out.
Let's not.
Yeah.
Or not.
I give no fuck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
we can curse on this. Oh, that was I think the first F-bomb of the show. I just said I give no fucks, and apparently I felt the need to suppress that, like we were actually on broadcast radio or something. But
it's just for us and
Yeah.
you if you want.
yeah, we already gave the disclaimer.
Yeah.
It's your problem if you're listening. So
If you feel better, you can say fork. That's what they do in The Good Place.
wow,
That's what I've
yeah,
heard.
yeah. I think
This is so forking awesome. I forking love this podcast.
is that just like if
What the
is that-
fork?
Isn't that how you would say it if you were in Boston?
What the fork? No. Pack the cat and have it yad.
Yeah.
That's my Boston accent.
And fork you, like,
Fork you.
don't those kind of go together?
Oh.
They put the R no, they don't say the R. So if they were saying fork you, it would be fuck you.
Fuck.
Yeah, see, yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
it's pre-Bostonified.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You got to give them the R so they can take it out.
Yeah. They don't even need to say it out loud. They just stare at you and you're like, oh yeah, they're flipping me off with their face.
Because if you wrote fork you on a piece of paper and had
Yeah.
someone from Boston read it, they would say fuck you, right?
Would they? There's
Well-
an R in there.
Right, but when they say park the car,
Oh.
they go park the car.
Pack the cat.
They don't say the
Cat.
R, so it would come out.
Yikes. Let's talk about accents. What do you...
is going
what,
way-
what accent
I
are
was
you
just
gonna-
thinking this was going way off the rails, and we should.
Oh, let's do it. Just
bail.
keep it. Just
We'll
keep it.
Keep it. Okay.
It's our first podcast. It's not... Wait, it's supposed to be a tangent. We're supposed to make tangents.
Is it supposed to be a shit show?
It's supposed to be... We're shit-showing
Train
it
wreck?
until we have,
Okay.
a part of it, though. We're just having conversation.
Okay.
I'd like to hear your best accent.
Oh God, I don't. That's. I feel put on the spot. I don't think I can do an accent.
You can't.
I
How about Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone? Harry Potter.
I think the accent that I would want to do is not PC. It's
Oh.
not politically correct.
All right.
I've done tech support for a large part of my career.
Oh, yeah, enough said.
And we'll just say I really enjoy the Foamy the Squirrel videos. If anybody's ever seen those,
What's that?
it's an old Flash cartoon from probably the late 90s or early 2000s. And it makes fun of Dell tech support, except they call it Smell tech support.
Oh, God.
It's a little bit off color. We'll say that.
I mainly watch those.
I don't think I should do an Indian tech support
no.
accent. That'd be a little inappropriate.
two white people just shooting the shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Totally.
the Simpsons did it with Apu up until about a year or two ago. I think they dropped. I think they either dropped Apu as a character or they changed his voice actor to someone who's Indian and made it a little less cartoony
Oh, that's
or
really
over
good.
the top. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I should watch more of the new Simpsons episodes. I still like the show. A lot of people have fallen off
I don't know.
because it's just, people feel like it's gone on too long and that it's just dried up. But I actually like the newer episodes. They touch on a lot of social commentary, current events, and things like that.
Would you say that's a qualified or unqualified opinion you just gave me?
That one was pretty well rounded and might be. I think I'm qualified to have pop culture opinions,
That's what I think too.
but for the sake of the podcast, it's unqualified. I think many people would say that all of my opinions are unqualified and that I just shouldn't have them. So I don't know why we're doing a podcast sharing opinions.
Well, we're going to connect with someone out there.
Because screw all those people that tell me that my opinions are
Yeah.
are no good.
You can only follow us if you agree with us.
Yeah, I mean, ideally you'd agree
That
with
was
us on most
sarcastic.
things. And if we get to like 3 listeners, I get to shove it in all those people's faces that say that my opinions are garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we almost called this garbage opinions.
Garbage. Just
But
garbage.
That was a little yeah, just garbage. That's the whole name. Thought that was a little too self-deprecating, so we went with unqualified instead of garbage.
Pile of garbage.
We hope that you agree. If you think it's garbage, please just stop listening and don't email us and tell us that we're garbage. I'm not sure if my emotional state can handle that.
Yeah. I can't take that level of constructive criticism.
That's more like rejection.
And
I can't take that kind of rejection.
No, yeah. You have to end it with respectfully. You guys suck. Respectfully.
Yeah, that's okay. You can tell us that we suck. Just don't call me garbage.
Just
That's
give me a
just mean.
compliment afterwards.
Yeah, the compliment sandwich.
Yeah.
You're
You're awesome.
Is like,
You
you're,
suck.
You're not complete
but you're
garbage.
awesome. Yeah.
And then you suck. That's good. So I need to go to Google Drive and open our notes, and we're going to actually make the bullet points for this episode
Yep.
while recording this episode.
So there
The
might-
second episode might not be quite as behind the curtain, but this one certainly is.
Hot Mess Express. We're
You know-
doing it though.
Actually,
Doing
before
the
I get
notes.
to making the notes, I did one of the things we wanted to open with, or I wanted to open with at least, was to talk about why we're making this podcast. I don't know is that too personal for you, Megan?
No, let's get
'Cause
into
I feel
it.
like you were a big part of the motivation.
Yes.
Are we going to use our real first names, or are we just Hambones and Megatron here? We didn't even decide that.
We don't have to be Daft Punk here. We can take our helmets off.
Okay, so that's a great analogy. By the way. So I am Chris /Hambones.
I'm Megan /Megatron.
Yeah. So Megan and I talk, and you have a little bit of anxiety.
Oh, I have a lot of bit of anxiety.
And you shared with me that when we hang out and just chat about shit, it's kind of therapeutic, or I don't know, just puts things in perspective a little bit, or is cathartic. Is that the word?
Yeah. I mean, I like to surround myself with people who really don't overanalyze things, because I have a tendency to sit with my thoughts and then create narratives in my head. And, my boyfriend Rob and you, Chris, and some friends that I've made throughout the last few years have been really instrumental at kind of helping me to rein in that anxiety and to kind of stop it in its tracks. And I think the pandemic has really just aggravated the situation for a lot of people. But I think it's important to talk about openly and to advocate for therapy and to think of self-care differently than we have in the past. It's not just face masks and bubble baths. It's really taking care of your mind and creating boundaries. And wow. Yeah. There's a lot I have to say about that. But
Yeah. That I think that went a little outside of the scope of what I was saying, but we can definitely continue on that path if you want.
Is this not a therapy session?
I mean, it kind of is. And so what I was getting to in that intro is that Man, yeah, we should find a way to get you a mute button, because all the mute buttons are over here. And I'm not quick enough to mute when you cough. Yeah. Whatever. This is pretty unscripted. They can hear the coughs. We'll figure that out. But all of that's to say that the motivation behind the podcast was to sort of capture, sort of bottle some of that catharsis and share it with the world. I don't know why that's helpful for us, but it just sounded fun. So now, welcome to our experiment.
That's part of it. We're kind of still trying to figure out what the aim of this podcast is, and I think we'll just figure it out.
We thought it would be a great idea to take something as intimate and private as a therapy session.
Yeah.
And broadcast it to everyone on the internet to just listen to.
Are you going to yeah, someone's going to Venmo you. Are you going to Venmo me for this session?
Right.
Oh, man. That's like part of it, but I think we're just trying to have fun with this podcast and like every once in a while talk about serious things. I mean, what's your
it's mostly to have fun, but I like the capturing the catharsis motivation. It was cool for me to hear that you got that kind of benefit from our conversations, and that made me feel, valued, I guess. And wow, I'm just like pouring my heart out on a podcast here. I'm getting a little self-conscious now. But yeah, we just want to have fun.
Can't say where the road. We're just crying. The staple.
We're here to have fun and share a little bit of ourselves. And we just hope that you don't hate it and that people get something out of it.
Yeah.
So I finally got the thing open, and bullet point 1. Do you have it open? Do you have the episode 1, Meet the Hosts? That's the name of this episode, by the way. We're going to call it Meet the Hosts.
Okay.
Even though you've already met us.
I don't have it open because I have so many tabs open on my iPad, and that's pretty symbolic of my own brain. So
those 2 folders that I showed you. One was called like episode notes.
Yeah, I have to find it.
It's in that one. Yeah.
Yikes.
But while you're opening it, I'll fill the airtime.
Yeah.
Airtime.
Take it away, Chris.
Like we're on the air. This is recording time. We're going to call it airtime because I've always, that's another thing I'll share real quick before we actually get to real things. All the way back to high school, people have told me that I have a good voice and that I should be on the radio. I'm very self-conscious about my own voice. I think that's pretty common. A lot of people are. But it's always been like in the back of my mind as like, man, I think that would be fun. And so this is a way for me also to sort of live out that fantasy of being on a radio talk show. So from here on out, this is airtime, not recording time. In my head, this is a radio show, and there's tons of people driving down the freeway listening in their car.
Yep.
That's the fantasy that I'm gonna live. Just so you're all aware.
Can you, speaking of your voice, can you say something for me? You say smooth jazz.
Smooth jazz. I can't say it without laughing. You can't put me on the spot like that.
Oh, I totally can. Get used to it.
One, I don't like jazz, so I never imagined myself introducing a smooth jazz song. But that's probably about as close as you're going to get right there. Where I just smooth jazz.
I'm just trying to
There we go. I did it without laughing.
I'm just trying to get my beep together right now. You know what I mean?
You can curse.
Trying to get my shh together.
Are you worried about people hearing you curse on the internet?
No, I'm not. Well, I'm a first grade teacher. I have to.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to say that. But...
No, I'm just joking. I'm really.
I mean, if your students found this podcast, oh God.
Oh my gosh. Sorry. Go read a book.
Yeah. Like we said in the beginning, we're not responsible. There's some personal responsibility around deciding to listen to this crap.
Like, don't bring your kid to a concert, like specific concerts. Don't bring them to a brewery.
And also, to be fair, I flagged our podcast as NSFW or adult content or, whatever it is, severe language. I don't remember what the flag was, but whatever it is, I flagged it on every platform as being like mature rated content. So
good.
Kids with filtered Spotify accounts and such should not have our program come up in their in their searches and whatnot.
You're very good at planning things and thinking ahead.
Yeah, I
appreciate
didn't
that.
want to. Well, I didn't want to get taken down for one, and yeah, I really it wasn't a humanitarian thing. It was more out of self-interest.
Oh, sure.
I wanted to be able to say whatever the fuck I want.
Fuck yeah.
No,
I like fork.
yeah, I mean we can use
Fork, yeah.
My old man always used to say shirt tails instead of
Shirt
shit.
tails. Nice.
Because you can start saying shit and then you can change it midstream.
Oh, yeah.
You know, shirt tails.
Son of a nutcracker.
What's there was a TV commercial a couple years ago. What the French toast? That was my.
Cinnamon toast crunch.
But the commercial was just what the
Yeah.
French toast, and the implication was what they were saying. They were saying, "What the fuck, bitch." But it just worked so well.
Nice. Okay, I have the document open.
Okay, so yeah, I can see your little green cursor. I love Google. Shout out to whatever it's called, Google Docs and crap.
You're the real ones.
Yeah, I mean,
You're the goat.
yeah. I mean, they spy on us, but we get free stuff, so
Yeah.
I'll take it.
It's a trade-off.
Hopefully, we don't get taken off of Google Podcasts for that comment.
Please.
I don't think we'll have enough listeners to get that kind of attention. And if we do, then it'll be cool, right?
know,
Because
Chris.
everybody wants to read the banned book that's not in the library anymore.
It's true.
So that'll be a good problem to have if we get there.
Was then Harry Potter remove require? Or you're not really into Harry Potter, are you?
I like the movies,
Yeah.
but I don't like to read much for pleasure.
Yeah.
Yet another reason my opinions are quite unqualified.
Those books are thick. Or they can be.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So-
podcast intro.
Yeah, the intro music. I think I played that at the beginning. I can play it again now since we're reading bullet point 1. This is the default intro music on the recording hardware that we used, and yeah,
Speaking of DDR, that was very DDR-like.
yeah, and you know, if you're familiar with podcasting equipment and you know what piece of equipment we're using, just based on that sound being the first default soundpad effect, you know, email us and you'll get a special prize.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know what the
What
prize
is
is yet. We'll figure it out.
Okay, we need to pause and talk about this.
No,
No, I'm just
we're
kidding.
going to talk about it live on air.
Okay. You know what?
No.
I have a ton of random shit in my bag,
Yeah,
including I literally found a
don't say what
fork.
it is. It's got to be a surprise.
Well, no, I really want to tell them
Okay.
about this one. I found a fork in a Ziploc bag that was like not even used.
Okay,
And it didn't even fit. It wasn't even like a big gallon size. It was, I don't think anybody else would find that in their bag. I'm like a weird, twisted Mary Poppins. Like
That does
picking
sound
out.
odd.
Oh, there's a lamp in here. Forgot about that.
But as a
Anyway.
reminder, the email address, if you
Yeah.
know what our recording device is unqualifiedopinionspc@gmail.com. And that's plural on the opinions, so there is an S on the end. unqualifiedopinionspc@gmail.com. So, yeah, email us and let us know if you're the one and only listener that at all cares. Even if you don't know what the recording equipment is. Just email
Like
us
me.
a random guess. Yeah, Megan's sitting right here at the table with it and doesn't know what it is.
Chris is like, "Are you good with this?" I'm like, "Yeah." Sorry.
Yeah, I just
He
bought
knows
the
what's
stuff.
best.
I didn't really. I just read reviews and did my usual geek
Homework.
nerd stuff.
Appreciate you.
But yeah, you know, just email us so we can feel like we have listeners.
I think we figured out. Yeah, please listen to us.
It'll motivate us to keep going.
I need friends other than all of the faces I drew on my fingers.
Yeah,
No, I'm
you know,
just
it's, I need friends that will listen to me but not talk back. No offense, Megan, but that's why
Yeah.
we're doing this, right? So they can listen. But I guess we do want them to talk back because we want them to email. But then we can read it on our terms.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have to listen to them at any particular time. It's just whenever we feel like opening the email.
You're saying you
puts-
don't like the interjections?
Yeah, it puts me in the driver's seat. I can read it when I'm emotionally ready. But realistically, that's going to be as soon as I see the notification, because I'm going to be so excited to get our first listener email that I'm going to, just lose it. But
here's the thing. Be kind. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
We can handle your bullshit if you send it our way, but just filter your thoughts.
Yeah. I want to hear everyone's bullshit. I just, like you said, it's better if it's kind.
Yeah.
But that's the only restriction or framework that I would ask for, is just kindness. But beyond that, like, let your freak flag fly.
That is true. Yes.
So anyway, that's the podcast intro and the intro music. Bullet point 1 from episode 1. Meet the hosts. Let's see. Episode intro. You're gonna meet the hosts and learn a little bit about us.
Are we doing?
I think we can check that one off the list. It's a big old.
Did we already do that?
Check. Yeah, I think we've done a lot of that so far. We're 25 minutes in on the recording. Now you'll be able to. Now everyone will know how much editing we've done. Oh my God. No. They're at the 4-minute mark.
Yeah,
and we're talking about 25. Yeah. Like, damn, I missed 20 minutes worth of bullshit.
It was just fluff. Don't worry about it.
You guys are probably going to get the full 25 minutes, because honestly, I am not motivated to do any real editing. We might just do the raw cut on every episode, honestly.
I'm just trying not to say too much.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that. Now I'm going to be self-conscious about that the rest of the time. Why did you do that to me?
Chris,
and also,
what's the next one like?
Another reason in favor of the just like putting the raw recording out there with no editing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've heard from people that that's garbage and everybody hates that. But we did mute the password. So there's, we don't have to edit anything.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The only thing that mattered is already pre-edited out.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we didn't mute. We actually paused the recording. So there's not even a chance of it getting through the mute filter or anything. It's not even recorded in the first place. It's bulletproof.
I bet Alexa picked it up, though.
Oh, she picks up everything.
Yeah,
I should probably listen to it before I publish it, though, just to make sure.
Probably.
In case the pause button didn't work.
Hey, Chris, I see step 3 is shoot the shit for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I think we're a little over.
A little over.
We've shot a lot of shit so far.
No, most of that wasn't shooting the shit. That was meet the hosts and learn a bit about us.
That's true.
And there's no time limit on bullet point number 2.
Oh, true.
That's the whole fucking episode.
That's the whole forking thing.
Well, and not only that, we've told some stories, which that's the next bullet point. Story time. We've told a couple stories, I think. And then main content, which is also getting to know the hosts and interviewing each other, which we haven't done yet. So I guess we've done the getting to know the host part, but not the interview each other. We were going to ask each other each 5 questions, but neither of us planned any of those 5 questions.
They're just bullet points right now. I wish you could see them.
They're just blank, empty 1 through 5, and then Hambone's questions for Megatron 1 through 5 blank.
You set it up so beautifully, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, I made this beautiful document, and then neither of us used it. It's okay. You're not at fault.
I have some questions,
We're both just total shitbags. Oh, you do have questions?
I do have some questions that I found online.
Oh.
I just did a general search.
Here, I thought you put in some actual thought and had questions that you just hadn't written down yet.
Work smarter, not harder. Okay, so
I'll try not to be insulted. But yeah, I think this is going to get to the point where we interview each other, but you're going to ask me.
I'm going to start.
Okay. I have nothing to ask you, so maybe you should turn it so we can go, we can alternate.
Well, there's a ton of questions for us to choose from because the title of this article is 250 plus not boring questions to ask to get to know someone better. So, Chris.
Literally just seconds before we started recording, though, you shared with me that you found a Would You Rather list. You still have that ready? Do you have that on the back burner? I don't want to lose those. Those seemed great. She only read me one, and I told her I didn't want any spoilers. We wanted to save those, and that's why we started recording. So you would get some of the planning, the behind the scenes setup. Hopefully, we didn't bore the absolute shit out of you with that.
Yeah, no, we. Okay, I got it.
We're actually getting started now that we have the show notes open and did our recap.
Do you want the would you rather, or would you like the general question?
Well, let's start with the general questions about each other. We've been pretty giggly up to this point.
Yeah. What's
And
your favorite
then-
color?
And then we can move to the would you rathers as round 2,
Yeah.
right? Okay. And then we can talk some more shit and wrap up the episode. And I think we've got ourselves a fucking podcast at that point.
Yeah,
Is this real? Is this really happening?
Ba-dum-tsh.
Do we have
Oh,
a
no, it's
real
not the right-
podcast?
I think we do. Ba-doom-tsh.
You know, you
That's like
made the
when
noise.
you have a
so I had to
joke.
use it. Yeah.
don't
But you
know.
made the noise,
I know.
so I felt obligated to try to get it in there.
Yeah.
Don't make the noise if you don't want me to hit the button.
Hey, Chris. Pick a number between 1 and 250 plus.
117.
Oh my god, I gotta scroll down.
I know.
I love this.
That's why I said the high number.
117?
I did that just to make you scroll.
God, my finger is
Not
not fit
because the
enough for
last
this.
bill I paid was $117, but I did it just to make you scroll. Actually, it's both.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah.
Wow, this is not a conversation.
What? 117?
Have you ever been to a family reunion?
That's the question?
Yeah.
I have, and I have some weird family reunion experiences. I don't know if I want to get into that in episode
Save that
1.
for later.
I will. I'll share the short version of one.
Okay.
The first thing that pops into my head when I think of a family reunion.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, there was a girl that lived across the street and 3 houses down from me. And we were like BFFs for like a few years, a good few years of our young childhood, probably like 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. And then, and who she was living with there across the street was a foster home, foster parents. And when I was, when we were probably around 11 or 12, her parents got their shit together well enough that they could have her back. And so she moved away and went back with her parents. And we kept very loose contact, like we were still in touch. I think we hung out once or twice after she moved back with her real parents, biological parents, I guess I should say, to be more correct. And it was just kind of awkward, it just felt forced. It wasn't natural anymore because it had to be arranged in advance. It wasn't just like ride my bike up the street and hang out. I had to get a ride and everything. So, after doing that a couple times and it just being kind of awkward, we just, drifted apart. And then probably 10 plus years later, I went to a family reunion and lo and behold, she was there and pregnant.
Cool.
And with someone else in my family, like some distant cousin.
What?
Yeah. Like, what a fucking small world, right?
What?
Just at a park, and here she is, like, a few months pregnant, very much showing, and just, hanging out at the park with some, fifth cousin that I don't even know his name, just...
Eddie.
It was so weird to wrap my head around. That's just the memory of seeing her there in that context is just burned into my mind. And I think we both recognized each other, but didn't say a word to each other because it was just so weird and awkward at that point.
Oh my god, I'm just the picture in my head. I'm wincing.
I know. It was so bad. But there you go. Even the weirdest question on the list that I happened to come up with randomly.
Oh man, that's a good answer.
Yeah, I think it's your turn to pick a number now. Let's
Oh,
keep
well,
this moving.
do you want a new question, or I have a kind of a funny story about a family reunion? Let's pick a new question.
If you want to share a family reunion story, I'd say go for it.
I'll see if I can spark note it or condense it.
Okay.
But this was,
and then you'll pick a number. And
I'll pick a
give
number.
you your question. Okay.
just because this is like such a good summary of who I am as a person, because I
that
identify
fits right in with Meet the Hosts, which
Yeah.
is the title
perfect.
of this episode, if you can call it that.
Yeah. So friends who know me pretty well know that I'm like not the most poised person at all times. And my
Did you say
humor
not the most poised.
poised.
Okay.
And I part of my humor is kind of self-degrading, and I'm totally fine with that, other than the fact that I probably should.
I resemble that
Yeah.
comment.
Yeah. So this was like 8 years ago. It was at a family reunion. It was a cruise to Cayman Islands, Jamaica, and Cozumel. Pretty cool. And we had been the family who lives in Bellevue, Redmond. There's 4 of us, and there's a extended family of ours that we hadn't met for years. No, we just hadn't met in general. And the whole group was like 40 of us. Or no, it wasn't that big. It was 20. And I was meeting them for the first time, and it was dark, and we were right by a pool. And I had been just trying to make conversation with my second cousin that I had never met. And I stepped back to what I thought was just an extension of the floor, and it ended up being a pool. So I like fell in the pool with all of my clothes on. So
I didn't see that
was
coming.
a really long-winded way of saying, that is a classic Megan experience.
Okay. So
it's
that's
like,
that's the long way of telling us that you're clumsy.
Oh,
and you
yeah.
don't watch where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a bunch of extra detail. But anyways.
There's a really dark joke that I've heard and passed along because I have a dark, fucked up sense of humor that's basically what you just shared.
Yeah.
But way, way darker.
Yeah.
There's and I think this is just proverbial. I hope this didn't actually happen to someone, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it's happened to someone or multiple people. But the story is that a couple are at the Grand Canyon, and and she's standing. He or she, could be either of them, are standing near the edge, and the other is going to take a photo. And they jokingly, for the spirit of framing the photo, ask them to take a step back. Mm-hmm. And they just step back without looking, and then just whoosh.
Oh, what?
Just gone. Yeah, I mean, It could totally happen. Did we just lose power? Luckily, our recorder runs on a battery, so...
Are we still recording?
We're still recording. We are live, but the building that we're recording in just lost power. I don't think we should stop. I think we should ride this out. We lost internet, but we have the webpage open with the questions on it. If other folks around need us to pause, we will.
Should I call? No.
I just love the idea of rolling with this because it's just going to make good content.
Hey, Rob.
You're on the podcast recording,
yeah, you're on
so you know.
You're on the podcast.
We didn't stop.
We'd like to bring in a special guest, Rob. No, I was kidding. Did you know that we lost power?
No, I didn't notice that the power went out.
I think he's being sarcastic.
Okay.
Can you handle that, Rob, or should we stop our recording?
I can look it up.
I think this is going to make for exciting content if we just keep rolling through it.
Just in the dark.
Can I handle what? What is the question here?
Investigating the cause of the power outage, calling the power company, whatever might be needed.
There's a huge pop. I think the transformers blew.
Okay.
Just in our place?
No.
Like outside.
Oh,
like
transformers.
on the pole. Okay.
All right.
Well, yeah, when the power goes out, the first thing I typically do is run outside and investigate, figure out what happened. So I just wanted to make sure that Rob was comfortable handling that on his own without us running up there to join him.
Okay. We'll look into it. Or we'll just wait for it to be resolved.
Yeah, I'm going to check the CLC Lights website to make sure it's recording.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to do.
Well, text me if you need anything. Okay, bye.
All right. Bye.
Yeah. Another clue to the recording equipment that we're using is that it has a battery built in so that when the power goes out, we keep recording, just like our laptops and our iPad stay on, even though we lose
Is this a
internet.
sponsored ad?
No, because we haven't even told anyone what it is. It's for the contest,
True.
So it's just one more clue
Yes.
as to which device it is.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, you were in the middle of a story when we lost power, right? We were just talking about how crazy it would be to just step off of the Grand Canyon without looking.
Oh, yeah,
Wouldn't that just be terribly sad? I can only imagine.
that is dark. That's not a pool.
And also,
on a
if they're
cruise
alone,
boat.
if they're alone and there's no witnesses, it's like when you go to the cops and just be like, "I swear I didn't push her off. She stepped off by mistake."
Chris.
Like, how do they investigate that? What would happen in that situation? It's one of the things that keeps me up at night. Is just thinking about weird, dark things like that. I'm glad for you. It was just a pool.
It was just a pool. I
Not
live
a
to tell the tale.
Yeah, and not the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Would you rather have nipple-sized fingers or finger-sized nipples?
And what did you choose?
I said I would definitely want finger-sized. I can't say it without laughing because it's just saying that I would want
nipples.
it. Yeah, I would rather have finger-sized nipples because
Can you just take your fingers and put them near your nipples and just imagine that? Because, like, what?
yeah, I mean, you would definitely need to wear a vest all the time to hide those bad boys. But you'd still have your fingers. I don't know about you guys, but my nipples are only maybe 2 millimeters long.
Yeah.
If I had 2 millimeter long fingers, I mean, that's like the equivalent of not having fingers at all. I would just have 2, 5 nippled nubs on the end of each wrist. And that would severely inhibit my ability to do things.
Could you type?
I mean, I could probably hit like one button at a time with each hand, like the pinky nipple or the thumb nipples if you wanted to face them down. But try setting up a podcast studio with nipples for fingers.
I know.
There's a lot of packing and unpacking and plugging cords in and putting microphones in mounts, and it's fun. I love doing it. I'm not complaining, but I think I would be complaining if I had to do it with hands essentially without fingers, because nipples I don't think are long enough to constitute fingers. But yeah, I mean, having your a finger-sized nipple hanging down, that would be quite a nightmare. I mean, not good for your bedroom life, but then again, having nipples for fingers wouldn't be good in the bedroom either.
Oh my gosh. Imagine those get to know you circles where they're just like, say your name, what's your favorite color? Or like, what's an interesting fact about you? And you're just like...
But Megan, what you're I think you're deflecting here. You didn't answer the question for yourself.
Slightly different, maybe, for me, given my specific build.
Being a female,
I have boobs.
I mean, I do too, but
I guess it would.
They're not as big, but I do have
jugs.
them. Oh, wow.
Anyways, I'm 31, so I'm thinking about, potential. I don't know if I want kids yet, but if I did have kids, I feel like having finger-sized nipples might make the process of breastfeeding a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah. So same decision, but maybe different reasoning.
Yeah, I don't know how that would feel, though.
I mean, it would feel weird as shit. I think we can all agree.
The baby would still, chomp down on it, which oh my God.
Yeah, that could hurt. You might need to be careful with that.
Yikes!
But, I think you agree that when you look at the alternative of basically not having fingers...
Oh, yeah.
That would just suck. So
you
kind of just have to figure out how to live with those nipples. Find nipple life strategies.
Oh, my God. Cut some holes in your shirt so you don't have to have them pressed down on you, I guess. Like Regina George and Mean Girls.
Just have them out flapping in the breeze. I'm talking about covering them with a vest, and you're like,
God.
Cut holes and just let those bad boys breathe.
Calm your titties. Anyways, next question. Next question.
So if your nipples get hard,
we're done with the nipples, Chris.
Do they
done with the nipples.
Okay.
What? All right. Pick a question.
You can do so many things with those. This is going to a bad place. Okay. All right. Well, that's enough of that one, I guess.
Let's do a different one. Would you? Oh no.
You can pick it. These are since you found the Would You Rather list. You should pick it.
Okay. Would you? I like the random thing. Why don't you pick a number?
What is there? 71 on the list?
71.
How many are on the list? I'm asking for the range.
There's 71.
There is 71. Okay. Yeah. So I would go with, let's go with 22.
I really want to know your answer to 71. 22?
Oh, no. I take it back.
Hold on. Let me read 22 and see if it's better.
No. Okay. You can read it.
Oh my God. Would you rather be born with an elephant trunk?
Wait, which one was better, 22 or 71?
I don't know. I'll read both of them to you and see which one you want to answer.
Okay, let's just do both.
Okay, 22. Porque no los dos. 22. Would you rather be born with an elephant trunk or a giraffe neck?
Oh, gosh. Probably the giraffe neck? I think the trunk would make it really hard to eat and just live life. The giraffe neck would just make you tall, and I'm already 6'1", so... I guess I'd just rather be a little taller and have a really long neck.
I think you'd have to adjust your mic slightly.
Oh, yes. I mean, right now I basically have no neck. I just have fat and then shoulders. So I think a giraffe neck, maybe my own self-consciousness draws me toward actually having a neck.
Oh my god. I just bought a pack of chokers, like so old school, but I got them for emo night.
Nice.
And I'm just imagining putting all the chokers on a giraffe neck.
Yes.
And it looks bomb. So my answer would be the same.
Collars or chokers or whatever.
Oh man.
You could get like collars that are colored, and you could do like a rainbow of collars on your giraffe neck.
Oh my gosh.
I would rock the shit out of that.
Yeah. I'd want some light up ones.
So what's your choice on that question?
Oh, for sure the giraffe neck.
Okay.
Oh, for
you don't
sure.
want an elephant trunk off your fucking face. Doesn't that just sounds ridiculous? Both of these have been no-brainers so far, I think.
What about the finger-sized nibbles and the giraffe trunk? Like, how unfortunate of a situation would that be?
But going back to our listeners, and if anybody is actually listening to this bullshit, if anyone out there actually would take nipple-sized fingers, or would rather have a giraffe trunk hanging off of their face than have a long neck, or I'm sorry, not a giraffe trunk, an elephant trunk.
I would love to hear your reasoning.
Yeah, we would love to hear your reasoning. Please email us and we'll revisit if
Please
we
just
need to.
be a guest on our
Come
show.
on and talk with us about nipples and necks.
We'll make that into a 60-second segment, you know?
60 seconds. I don't
Or
think
sorry,
that's long
60
enough.
minute.
Yeah.
60
Yeah,
hour.
At
I
least,
don't know.
at least an hour.
For sure. We
All
need
right.
to get the details on that. 71.
71.
Would oh, there's a typo. Would rather. Ha ha ha. Okay. Would you rather be able to speak to animals? Oh, that wasn't as funny as I thought.
Well, what did you think it said? Read it the way you thought it. Read what you thought it said.
I don't know. I started reading it. I didn't actually finish it, but I'm like, okay,
Wow.
this is kind of funny.
Wow, Megan.
But it's really-
I'm embarrassed for you right now. You didn't even read it and you thought it was
No.
great.
Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
100 duck-sized horses.
Horse-sized duck. Holy.
I think I would definitely
Nay.
take the horse size or the 100. Was it 100 duck-sized horses? Was that one of the options?
Yeah.
I think I would take that one. I think it would be so much fun to just kick the shit out of them.
Oh my god,
Like,
no.
Just running start and just kick them and watch them fly like a football.
Oh my god, just punt them.
Yeah, just, you know, if they're standing sideways, you know, perpendicular to you, so your foot can sort of get under between their legs, you know, to their undercarriage or whatever it's called, their chest, and then just launch them
Oh my god.
at that 45-degree angle, you know, straight into the sky. You know, if something's the size of a horse, what was it? A horse-sized duck was the other option?
A horse-sized duck, yeah.
Yeah, it's just ducks are already a little bit scary when they're small, and then if you made one the size of a fucking horse, I'd just be terrified and run.
They'd bite. I don't
But
know.
a bunch of little mini horses, it's like cats, you know. At that point, you
just punt them one by one.
I mean,
Come on
they,
up.
They could gang up on you, but you know they have hooves, not claws, so I don't think they could climb up you. You know, I think they would just be stuck, you know, maybe kicking you in the shins. But, you know, I think you could get away from them, trample them, kick them, whatever. I don't support cruelty to animals.
me-
I want
me
everyone
too.
to know this is purely a fantastical,
I was going to say poor horses.
ridiculous.
If you're a
thing.
horse person, I'm sorry.
And if you're a duck-sized horse,
We love you. We see you.
yeah.
Yeah.
If they're, I mean, the question purports that they're attacking you, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we're talking about self-defense here. We're not talking about just kicking defenseless miniature horses.
These are bad horses, not good horses.
Yeah, these are the bad guys. You know, if I came across 100 duck-sized horses that were friendly, I would just want to pet them all and keep one as a pet, and take amazing care of it. I don't want to kick them, but if they force my hand, or rather my foot,
Right.
I'll do what I have to do to survive.
Oh my god, I'm just imagining you just like coming right up, punch up. Next.
Me being winded after I kick 3 of them. Like, oh my God, what did I do?
Let me do the math here. 97 more charging at me.
I'll sit there and just think, man, I should have gone with the duck-sized or the horse-sized duck, because then I could just run somewhere small and hide.
Yeah.
I could just go between, 2 buildings that are close together where the giant duck can't fit.
Yeah.
That might be a more pacifist, easier option. I'm going to change my answer.
Yeah.
I don't want to hurt the little horses.
I could see the
I want
change.
I want the horse-sized duck, and I want to run into a building with a very small doorway that the giant duck can't fit through.
Did you watch Billy Madison? You've seen Billy Madison? Didn't he get chased
not
around
sure.
by like a big...
Is that an Adam Sandler movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I remember it only vaguely. Is that the one where he has to go back to school?
Oh, maybe it's not Billy. Is it Billy Madison? I don't know. But I remember he had a bunch of dreams about a huge animal. I think I don't know what it was. Anyways. You want to do one more?
Yeah.
1 or 2 more, depending on how good of a question is. I'm going to switch it to you. You've got the power.
Oh, I'm in charge now.
Yeah.
Okay, let me scroll through and see what I can find here. I was just messing with my headphones for a second because, this is our behind the scenes new podcast, and some of my wires got crossed, literally, and I just couldn't have it because my I don't know. I don't want to call it OCD because I feel like it's a little overused for people to claim that. But my neuroticism, maybe that's a better word. I just couldn't have those wires be tangled. I had to fix it.
I feel like there's...
I don't care if I'm in the middle of a recording. It's going to get fixed.
Chris, I feel like there's multiple things that got brought... Like, I think we said earlier, we wanted this podcast, or we were originally envisioning this podcast to be pretty silly for the most part, but every once in a while we'll talk about serious topics that we actually have a, serious opinion on. And I think that there's some things addressed in this podcast alone that we can really dig into.
Yeah, we can definitely revisit things. And since this is our first episode, I did kind of want to lean into the silly stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Because we're going to have so much time to get into serious topics. But for people to get to know our vibe, I think it's important to have the humor as a backdrop and a foundation for those more serious topics, so that when we make a completely inappropriate joke in the middle of a serious conversation, they don't think we're just being ridiculous or insensitive. We are, but now you know why, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got the background. But yes, yeah. Continue. Where were you?
Oh, sorry. No, I didn't have anything else to say.
Okay.
I'm just staring at you blankly now.
I just always assume that when I talk, I'm interrupting. So I always assume that when I'm done, you're gonna want to go back to yours.
Oh no, you're fine. It's
all. It's generally a safe assumption. I have a jump in kind of personality, and I hope that our listeners don't think that I'm a sexist pig or that I'm mansplaining when I'm talking over you. I'm a little self-conscious about that, and I think this is an opportunity for personal growth for me to maybe work on that, and I need to be able to let you speak and not jump in.
Oh.
So,
So
if that was going to be your hate mail for us, that I'm always talking over Megatron, you can hold those thoughts. I'm aware and working on it.
Be sure to put in a compliment.
Some healthy encouragement would be good.
Just
don't call me out as being a chauvinist asshole, please.
I'll do that for you.
Well, Megan can do that. Yeah,
I can do that.
She's allowed, and maybe other women could, but I don't want to hear from guys that I'm a dick. Girls, you can just everybody be nice, but you can point it out if I'm especially bothering you, or you could just stop listening, but or both. It's up to you. I'm not responsible for your actions. And you're not responsible for my feelings either. You can be. Everybody can be as mean as they want. We're just asking for kindness. Anywho, I was supposed to look. I'm supposed to be scrolling through.
I was just staring at him like he's still going.
I don't know what
he
I'm doing.
He is going. We're picking 1 or 2 more questions. But
yeah, but I can't figure out what to pick.
How about I pick two numbers,
Do you want
and
to
you
pick
pick the better one.
I'm going to make you pick a random number. Yeah,
How about-
or two, and I'll pick the better one.
How about 8 and 5?
Wow, you like small numbers. Okay.
I do. 8's my favorite number. I don't know why.
All right, I'm going to read. Should I just read them out loud? It's hard for me to read silently when I'm on the mic like this.
Yeah.
So number 5 is, would you rather go... Well, let's just do both of them. What the hell?
Yeah.
This is easier. Let's just read it and go for it. Would you rather go bright purple when embarrassed or sweat so much that you soak your clothes?
Bright purple when embarrassed.
Right, or in the same
what?
scenario, when embarrassed either. So if I were to rephrase it, is when you're extremely embarrassed, or when you're just embarrassed, I guess it doesn't say extremely, would you rather go bright purple or sweat so much that you soak your clothing?
Oh, God. Purple for sure.
Yeah, sweat is gross, and
Oh, yeah.
nobody wants to see that.
I don't give a fuck if people see that I have purple. Like,
I mean,
also,
if you're going to fall into a pool anyway,
yeah.
then I guess the sweat wouldn't really make much difference because you're already going to be wet.
Oh, God. The
But
sweat.
for the non-pool related embarrassing situations,
just-
then the sweat would be
Just
unnecessary.
feel it, like, feel the swampiness, and it's so gross.
Oh, of that memory of
hate
getting
being
out of
sweaty.
that pool? Oh, you mean the
No.
sweat. Okay.
Yeah. No, the memory of getting out of the pool was funny. I'm just like,
Okay.
hey, guys. I'm Megan. Whoops. But purple skin, I mean, oh my God. When I was a kid, and still to this day, when I get embarrassed, I get really, really red. Super red. And when I
Yeah.
was in school, if I was like called out or a teacher called on me and I had no fucking clue what was going on, I'd get so red, and everybody would be pointing like, Megan's so red, and I'm like, guys.
So you're
I
only
just-
one shade off from that scenario. You
for sure.
You already have that. It's
I'd-
just
yeah.
red instead of
And-
purple.
Purple is one of my favorite colors, so I would love to turn purple.
So that would be an upgrade.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's a no-brainer. I would definitely go with turning purple. Just because the sweat is gross, and I already sweat too much anyway when I'm, outside and it's hot. So yeah, and I don't get embarrassed very often. I'd be purple the whole time we're recording this, but this is not a video podcast, by the way, everyone. If you're listening, some podcasts have that video component where if you go find it on YouTube or whatever other platform, Twitch or whatever, you can watch the people sitting at the table talking into the microphones. I may be doing hand gestures right now for all this, but you can never see it because we are not going to make a video of this, and you would never know how purple I was.
You can imagine it.
You can imagine me as a purple fuck. So, let's see.
Teletubby here. No, God, that's really.
Oh God, no!
That is so.
Did you just call me Tinky
No.
Winky? That's what just happened. We're not editing that out either.
Tinky
That's
Winky.
Okay, stop.
Oh.
We're not editing, so you need to stop. Don't make me edit. Megan, we've got up to this point. We have
Okay.
very little editing.
Okay.
And we're almost done.
Okay.
If you make me edit, I'm gonna be
Don't
so
make
mad.
me edit. Don't make me come over there.
All right, we're really
We have
gonna
so many cords. Like Chris
We're
said,
really
you
just
can't
gonna-
see this, but
Yeah.
we have so much stuff on this table. It's a nice
and the
book.
power is still out. We're sitting in a
Yeah.
dark room. There's
Sorry,
no
Rob. Can
power
you
in
figure
here.
that out? We're going to keep talking.
I love that we recorded through all of that.
I know.
And Rob was just like, what do you want me to figure out? I'm like, run outside and see if the whole street's out. But apparently he did, because he said the whole street was out. But yeah, no. I don't remember where we were, what we were talking about.
Was there another question? Sorry.
Yeah, there was. We do have one more.
Let's do it.
Is that ridiculous?
Let's do
I'm going to
it.
go back and listen to this and be like, oh, that's what else I wanted to say. Because
Yeah.
I lost where we were.
We can
But
start our other podcast, our episode 2.
I don't
be
know if
like-
it's going to be that significant.
I don't know if it's groundbreaking.
No.
If it's a qualified opinion.
It was just continuation of the ridiculous joking. But we're going to let that go. That's
Okay.
okay. I just have a hard time in the moment when I have, like, when something is tracking and I think of a thought that I'm going to tack on to the end.
Yeah.
And then I forget it or miss that window. then it's like, oh, well, if I can't remember it, I can't go back and punch it in. But oftentimes, if I do remember it, even if the moment has passed, I'll still say, "Hey, let's rewind a little bit."
Yeah.
I wanted to say this thing and I missed the window, but I'm going to do it anyways right now. But when you forget it, then you lose that option altogether, and I just have to be okay with that.
I made a book on tape when I was in 3rd grade because I was really into them, and it was to the book Piggy Pie.
So you read the book out
I
loud
recorded
into
myself.
a recording.
Yeah.
Okay.
I might have been a
made
bit
an
younger
audiobook.
too.
Yeah.
I made an audiobook. And I'm like, I'm going to read Piggy Pie. When you hear the sound, ding, turn the page. So I did all of that. And then I start
you made
reading.
a read-along audiobook.
Kind of. Yeah.
Because, when I'm listening to an audiobook in the car, I don't need it to tell me to turn the page.
No, true.
I don't have the paper book.
Yes, you're right.
So you made a read-along.
I made a read-along.
Learn to read children's book read-along. I love it.
And little did I know I would become a teacher. But
I think you knew in that moment,
Yeah.
subconsciously,
yeah.
that's the direction you were going to go.
So I started reading this book, and I got into like page 1, page 2 was killing it with the dings. And then the 3rd page,
You forgot to ding.
I forgot to ding. And then I noticed that on page 4, and I stopped like mid-sentence. I'm like, oh, ding to the other page. And then later on in the story, I'm reading, I picked myself off the ground and I kept going, as one does. And I heard my sister in the background go, Megan, we're going to Costco. And I got so frustrated. And this is all with my read along.
God. It's all in the recording.
Yeah. And I'm just like trying so hard to get through this book with the proper dinging to get to the next page, and telling me we have to go to Costco. And I'm like, you big lump of poop. Oh, I disclosed her name. Yikes.
More editing.
I'm so sorry.
We got to beep that out. Okay.
That's right.
All right.
Anyways.
We got 35, 40, and we're at an hour and 10 minutes right now.
Oh,
so
we should wrap this up.
We can wrap up soon.
Let's do one more
Since we're not going to do any editing, this is going to be like an hour-long episode. I
want to listen to it.
I do too. We're going to make the whole world listen to it.
My password
Megan
is...
Oh God, that would require math. Fuck that. I'll just make you type it in. A lot of these are sex and nudity related.
Is it? I think those are the...
I went down to 20. Yeah, you're not going to like that one. This is, would you rather be constantly naked or always have people watch you have sex? Like, what?
What? These, like, Cards Against Humanity?
Right? Yeah, you pick another one.
Would you rather be a homewrecker or be home wrecked?
Is that really one of them? Were you actually reading that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Would you rather...
I think that's an interesting one. Should we talk about that one? The homewrecker version?
I would not. Oh God. Oh, I'd rather be a home wrecked, because being a home wrecker, I'd have so much guilt and like that, like an identity crisis. And like home wrecked, at least and hopefully you get home wrecked earlier on in your relationship. But then again, it really depends on your definition of a relationship, right? Like,
yeah.
It like home wrecking. I don't know if that's a thing in every relationship.
Well,
I don't
right,
know.
yeah, you have open
long as
relationships and such.
But
this is, I think, assuming monogamy and cheating.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. I'd rather get home wrecked, as shitty as that is.
Okay,
I would not want to be a home wrecker.
Yeah. I was probably thinking about it more selfishly, like I'd rather not be devastated myself.
Yeah.
But, and now I feel shitty and like that's selfish. I think we're going to edit this out too. This was a bad one. Why did I
know.
Why did I push this one?
How about let's do
We should probably just
should just wrap it
work
up.
on wrapping up. Yeah, we've got lots of we've spent lots of time here.
I feel like my stamina is going down.
Yeah, I think this is a good time
I'm
to wrap up.
so hungover right now.
We're definitely on the downswing of our
Yeah.
energy, so this is a good time to wrap up.
Yeah.
So
If you hung in here for as long,
yeah.
well, depending on how much we cut it out,
Yeah, I mean, we went into this saying we weren't going to edit, but I think we do have some
I
things.
think we do have some stuff to omit. That's all
Yeah.
right.
So, but still, I think we're going to be this episode. If I had to guess, is going to be still close to an hour long because we're at about we're well over an hour right now.
Our other episodes are 30 minutes, right?
Well,
That's what we're kind of aiming for. Or?
yeah, I mean, what we're aiming for, but who knows? This is going to just be a learning experience.
Yeah.
But I think our general target is about 30 to 40 minutes for an episode.
Yeah.
But like this just went by and riffed, and I don't know what editing's going to look like. This is our first recording, so I shouldn't speak too soon. But my goal was to do as little editing as possible.
Yeah.
And if they end up being longer, that's fine. I think it's just going to evolve over time. We're going to find that groove. So our wrap up would going back to the behind the curtain and going back to our episode outline was going to be a wrap up, which would be a summary of key things that we've learned about each other and key takeaways. I don't think we need to summarize. I think
My summary is that you chose finger-sized nipples. That's my summary.
that's a good one. Yeah, and you did too.
That's my takeaway.
I mean,
Oh,
for
that's
the
true.
record,
I
you
did
did
do
too.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't want nipple-sized fingers. That would be so hard.
yeah. You need fingers,
You need fingers.
and what's two more?
Yeah, exactly.
They probably won't be very useful, and they are still nipples, so I don't think they would have bones in them.
Oh, yeah.
They're just giant nipples, long, droopy, swinging in the wind nipples.
God.
And also, let me remind everyone that you suggested that you would cut holes in your clothing
Yeah.
so that your nipples can come through. I don't know if
Isn't
that's
there
legal.
a show that was like,
I think it's legal in some
Monsters or something?
cities. I think like Seattle and San Francisco, I think that's legal. But if you travel,
I feel like they'd be like, what is on their shirt? Oh my God.
I think there are some places where it's illegal to show nip in public, so you should be careful with those clothing
I'll look it up.
modifications.
I'll look it up.
Anywho, that's the wrap up. That's the summary. the next, yeah. Oh, damn. There we go.
Yay!
Bam. So the last bullet point, second to last bullet point, is our call to action to encourage you to send us feedback, questions, topic ideas, and ask that you follow or subscribe to Unqualified Opinions with Hambones and Megatron. On whatever podcast service you use. We should be on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and hopefully all the major ones. If we're missing on one and you want to be able to find us there, let us know that too, and we'll try to get published on that platform. We're kind of new to all of this. Again, you can email us at unqualifiedopinionspc@gmail.com with any constructive feedback, questions, or ideas for topics, or if you just want to tell us how much you love or hate us. You can hate. Just be kind with your hate. Let's see.
The home goods sign. Choose kindness.
Yeah, and I think most of those services have a notification bell or something where you can get notified when a new episode comes out. Mm-hmm. So hit that so you don't miss any of our ridiculousness. That's it. The last bullet point is the outro music.
Ooh. Closing time. Turn out all the lights out.
We don't really have
Everybody.
we don't have outro music, so Megan is improvising. We do have the intro music though, which again, these are just the default sounds.
We should use closing time as our exit.
I
The
think
classic Get Out.
you have to pay licensing for that, and I don't have that kind of
right.
money. We got to
Dang.
use that license free podcast music, or
We should just
the
do a shut
defaults.
door sound.
or the defaults that came with the recording equipment that we have.
Let's take a look.
Boom.
That's our ending?
Done. That could be it. Or the intro music.
Oh, to like exit?
Yeah.
seems
This could
kinda
just
nice.
be the intro and the exit music. It's bookends. So I vote that the exit is the intro music and then that sound.
Can we get a closing door sound?
Or actually, you know what? I think we're going to do all four. Well, that would require changing these sounds. I really want to be lazy and stick with the default ones that came with the equipment.
Oh, yeah.
So I think we're going to go all four. We're going to go the intro music, the shorter music clip, the rim shot, and then an applause. And I'm going to fade the applause out with the gain level on the sound pad. So are you ready for this? Are you ready
let's
for
do
our
it.
closing?
Let's do it.
Okay. Thank you for listening.
Two
Unqualified opinions.
We need to work on that. 3, 2, 1.
Thank
Thank you for listening to Unqualified Opinions.
with
Ham Bones and Megatron.